Hello, everybody. Hey, Marcus. Welcome to the stream, man. Good day. There we go. Doing a little bit of research today on potentially automating the release of NPM package. But we'll take a look at that here in a little bit. Today there's a couple of things I want to get started on. So let's take let's see. First thing we want to do is let's go to npm.js. Grab my token. I can in. Yeah. Okay. Are now signed into our NPM account. And here we packages. So this is the log observable that we published. Our README is pretty terrible, right? The other thing we don't have is usually over here. It's nice to have NPM or like what do we want to call it? A GitHub page, right? And yeah, I'm not. I don't know. Maybe we'll add a license. If we add a license, it's going to be super permissive license, whatever, the most permissive license we can find. That'll probably be it. It's crazy to see that 51 people have downloaded this. That's awesome. But yeah, we need to make this page better. Need to add a link to our GitHub. We go take a look at the GitHub. This is the log observable. We're even worse here, right? We've got the default NX mono repo stuff. So what I'm thinking we can do is, well, for now we'll do a lot of it manually, and then we'll look at automating it, part of the release. Work on the README, and then we'll put the README back here, and then we'll figure out how to add stuff to NPM so that our NPM page looks better and takes us to the right place. And then, providing a way for people to be able to figure out how to use it, what it does, provide some screenshots and stuff. That's what I'd like to start with right away. Yeah, I'm jumping right into things. First of all, thank you guys, everybody, for being here this morning. Kind of a rainy day, so good day to be in. Day to be inside coding. So, let's see what else. Oh, I'm traveling. So I will be. I'm traveling, so I won't be streaming tomorrow night. But I will be streaming on Thursday. I get back on Thursday, but I would like to stream. If we can get this all done, then we'll pick up on the blog and with the CMS. I can't get this all done. I do want to get the log observable stuff done, especially where they're actual users. Like, crazy that there are 51 people out there using this. That's awesome. And so yeah, let's make things nice for them, and get a couple more features in. Well, yeah, make the colors better. Definitely make it easier for people to figure out how to use it. and add some of the nice things that you see on typical npm packages. So let's get into that. So right now we're serving on 4200. And so this is what we were looking at on on Monday, right? No, I streamed Thursday. I didn't stream last Monday. So we were looking at colors that have good accessibility, and what we can use to look at our accessibility is VisBug. And under this little human icon, we can look at accessibility, right? And so we can kind of tell already that this color isn't that great. But when you hover over it, we can see, and you can pin this in place. We can see that we fail both the AA and the AAA tag compliance, right? And 2.1, where to, right? Like this color should be much higher. But some of these are horrible. Like a 1.9 is worse than that one. They're getting better. I think we grabbed this color as our base color because it's the only one that had good accessibility. That winds up being this color. One of these colors. Anyway, what we did, it's this color. Close. They're close. Very close to each other. So what we did is we used HSL to build our color. This one technically doesn't pass AAA compliance, but it does pass for all the other colors, and these all pass for sure. So we took it from 7 colors where 6 of them weren't compliant, all the way out to 8 colors that are going to look okay in our log. I do want to do the same, like our reds. We don't have anything that even passes. Like all of these are horrible. 4.3, well, 4.3, 5.2 is not bad. It's not good, but it's not bad. 3.8, 2.1, 3.74. Probably go slightly darker on this color and get something that does pass. Like even all of these. I mean, the other option, we go something like this orange. Use lighter colors for it with. But I think if we take this color and we step back back a little bit, we can do better. So let's do that. Let's make this color slightly darker. So this is just red with like the sea level marker. Let's go take that color and go darker on it. And then with the blues, there are a lot of our blues are pretty good, but it would be nice to generate them. Like here, 9 is really good. This one's not bad. We could probably start with this blue as our starting blue, and then generate similar to. Let's take this red and make it darker, and see what we can do from there. So we'll update after. It snowed here. Wow. 2 days ago it snowed, Marcus. That's crazy. You guys are way more north than we are, though. So wow, that's yeah. We have gotten snow. We didn't. It was about 2 or 3 weeks ago we got snow. Nothing stuck, but it was just snowing during the day, right? Um, Plugins. Update those later. Anyway, these were the colors that we were using before, and this is how we're generating our base green. What we can do is we can take this color and interesting. We take this color and we go to like a 99. That's a darker red. That should be a better red for us to use as our base color. Wish they did HSL here. Is that it just dropped our our darkness down to 60? Copy. Go down here. Look at the red. Go only will be our red base. It's a 50. I wonder if we start with the lightness of 20, similar to what we've got here. So if we go hue 0, our saturation at 100%, and our lightness at 20%. And we'll also come up with some code to generate. I'm doing a lot of copying and pasting here, but it would be, so this will be our reds. At -1, -2. Here, we're just going to grab all of these, change them over to our red base. Got that. Then if we come up to now we just want to add our reds. Now we should be able to go take a look at our site. And those are dark. So I believe, yeah, this is our default color. So these two are our defaults. And we're getting really good, but it's to about at 17s here, which is fine. But it doesn't show up against like a dark background as well. Let's try raising the base color to let's go to a 30% lightness on this. And that's the nice thing about HSL is, we can now experiment with our colors. So if we go to like 30% here on our lightness. Go back. So now we're at a 30% lightness and we're dropping back to a 20, and our colors are looking, they're easier to see on a dark background. So the question is, here we're at an 8.2, that one's not bad. 7.4, we're getting close. 8.9, 7.4, 12, 11. Yeah, so these aren't bad. With the 30% lightness, we're in a decent place. And we can do the same, it looks like, with our blues. Go ahead and just, we'll create our blues also the same way. Take our red base, create our blue base, and this just becomes a 240 here. And then if we want to do our 99, or well, let's start with 20 and see what we wind up with. Here, create our signal, blues. And I don't think we're going to use a signal in the, we didn't really need to use a signal at all here. But wasn't sure how we were going to do it in the, if we were going to use a generator or something like that. And I think we can use a generator. Maybe, I don't know. It may not be worth it. So we've got our blues. There we go. I didn't add it to the, go. Everything awesome. Okay, so adding it to the page. And our blues in. There we go. And adding the signal didn't really give us much because we aren't changing this. Because we aren't changing it, we aren't going to get many benefits out of the signal. It just becomes a wrapper around an array, really. Again, these are a little bit dark versus these colors. So let's go try 30 also. Our blue. There we go. Yeah, those don't look too bad. Now if we go grab our VisBug stuff, take a look. This one's failing the AAA, but because this is a debug tool, we're probably okay. But everything else is passing. So it looks like these first ones are the ones that become the most likely to fail. But why are we looking at these colors? Go ahead and take out all of the other colors that we were using here. There are the three colors that we're now going to use. But let's go also down here. Also throw in this dot greens, this dot reds, this dot blue. Um, and so now we're going to log using each of the colors. So if we go back here, bring out our log on the side, go look at our console. This is why, we're spending time to come up with good colors. Oh, we're doing light and dark. We're not going to do dark. Take this out for now. And let's go take a look. So here we can see, here were the original 7 colors. And some of these are really hard to read. Like that one is very hard to read. That one's very hard to read. And that's what, it shows us when we're looking at the, hey, TBD Gamer, it's good to have you here, man. Thank you for showing up. We can see that some of these are very difficult to read in the logs. If we look, all of these, not too bad. These greens here are difficult to see on a dark back. Interesting. Going to switch over really quick to a light background and see how they look. They look on a light background, and you can actually read, what they are. They're a little bit hard to, the difference between this one and this one. So I may go to a 30 also on the greens. Let me toggle back to dark mode. There we go. So let's go take a look at what a 30% lightness base on the green would look like. Go. And now, we can see the difference between all 8 colors on the background. This one is the most likely to be our troublesome color. And it is okay to see. Everything else is much more readable. So these are the 8 colors that we're going to use. So we'll take a look at that. We're going to go replace this. These colors. Go create some colors. And that's the nice thing about, do we want to programmatically create these colors, or should I just unroll the loops? That's the other question that we should think about here. Every time we create this, we might create the colors. And it's not that expensive of an operation to create these colors. Do we want to incur it? Or is it worth just going with 80, 140, 120, 140, 80? $40. Colors are the same. Got a bug in my code. I do. Be a -1. Um, there we go. Those colors aren't bad, and we can actually right now we're basically iterating over a couple of so this winds up being pretty bad because the map operator iterates and then our spread operator iterates. So we iterate this twice just to add it in, and then here we're iterating twice to add it in, and the same, right? So can we do better? And I think we can. Because if we only iterate like 4 times and we generate 8 colors, not bad. And the only reason I did it this way is just to show the light and the darks, right? But we could create a function, and probably shouldn't create it at the class level. Take this code right here. And let's fix it a little. So down here, we want to have a function. It'll be create colors. This will return an array of strings. Take all of this up into here. And so inside of here, we can just do const. This is our range. Equals, and here we can do -2, -1, 0, and 1. Go. Our range. So then what we can do is we can return range.map here. For each number, we want to return and actually probably better if we just do a reduce here. We do range.reduce. It wants an accumulator and an index. I typically call the accumulator the previous value, and it's showing us down, right? And then this is the current value. And that's a really weird way for me to type previous value, and we're going to name it that way. We should keep our variables consistent. So there's our current value. And then the last thing we need to do is just start with empty array. It doesn't like my return statement because number is not assignable to type string. Right, is not. But we can cheat and we can just say, hey, this is a string array. This value, current value will be a number. Type number is not assignable to type array. Anyway, so inside of here, now what we can do is, and see, it wants to spread these over, wants to spread these over the previous value. Typically, I don't like to mutate arrays, but this is a case where doing the spread operator basically, you know what, we can do better. We can say, hey, return. Well, actually, first we can say const new colors, and we can just add an array here, and call this our color base, and it will take in an object of the shape h number and s number and then L, right? And so here we can say return this previous value void, and our new colors will be our HSL stuff. So I think that works. Yeah. Base that. The other thing we can do is this can be introduce a variable here, place this occurrence, and we're going to call this, instead of number, this will be our offset. Call it our color offset. Boom. Up. It wants us to be a const here. Fine. Go. Like, oh, the type is inferable. What it is. There we go. We're getting our current value. Fine. I wish it wouldn't take out my parens here. Because it's a little bit frustrating. Anyway, we can copy this down. Here we are going to color base L minus 10. And we should refactor this into a variable. We'll call this our, we can call this our darkness modifier, right? Maybe we'll come up with a better color in the future. Clean this stuff up. Go. Actually, let's rename this darkness modifier C. We can call this our darker color modifier. I don't know. So there's that. And now what we can do is we can just return. And here we can just go boom dot concat actually, we can just even do previous value concat new colors, right? And that should work better than red operator. And if we look at concat returns a new array, so we don't have to worry about immutability and things like that. So every time we call concat, we're going to create a new array. There we go. So now we can just come up here. Instead of even just using the signal, we can just say, hey, create colors red base. Go. Blues, we can do the same. Create colors, base. And I'm good with this one. It performs a little bit better. And really, sometimes we optimize too soon. And so that's another thing to be cognizant of. But I think if we, oh yeah, no longer array, or this is no longer a signal. These are no longer signals either. There we go. That all works. Now if we go take a look, we're using the create colors. Everything looks better. And we're looking good over here. So there we go. We're in a good state. We can take this stuff and copy it over. Gosh, gaming. Hey, yo, you are really smart. Thank you for the compliment. Every developer has a feeling of imposter syndrome. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. What we're doing is we're adding the ability to track observables, and right now I want to make the logging that we're doing more user friendly. I picked these colors, and you can see that right away, WebStorm recognizes that these colors don't work with a white color on the screen is not very accessible, and so it's switching over to a darker color. And it's doing the same here, right, where only 2 of these colors work, and these all work. But if you look down here, we're actually using the white color on our dark background, and that doesn't work. So what we're doing is cleaning that up. We're fixing our colors. So go ahead and get this cleaned up. Oh, and you know what? I said that every time you used the observable, you were going, or the operator, you were going to incur a penalty. It doesn't look like that's the case. It looks like we set these up right away. So we can actually replace these. Paste this in. And here we're going to say const green base equals that as const. We're going to type narrow this as far as possible, right? That const, and then our blue base equals that as const, right? So we've got all of this in place. The next thing we can do is we can go grab this this function right here, the create colors function. That's going to create our colors, and you know, it does create them with the light and then dark, light, dark, light, dark, but that's okay, right? Um, it's um, it's important that we the order of the colors doesn't matter because we're going to randomly pick a color anyway. And so, and really, I think if I hit plus here, it only changes here. I would love to be able to change toggling the console. Maybe if I'm focused over here, will it allow me to? There we go. There we go. Now we can see this, right? On stream, it probably looks better. Probably been a little bit bigger. This is the part we're looking at. Um, that looks better on the smaller version I'm looking at, and it probably looks better on YouTube, but that one's really small. On a phone, it's not going to help anyway, but there we go. So I can change these independently. That's good. Let's go take a look. Grab this function. Here we just add in our function. Like here. Oh, yeah. That's one of the nice things about WebStorm is that we're getting like duplicate function, right? Because I copied it exactly across. And so it's scanning across the entire library and it's saying, oh yeah, you've got duplicate. That's okay. We don't really care. The other thing that I think I would like to do is within this library, let's go create a directory, and we're going to call this directory our types directory. And I would like to turn this HSL into a type. So let's go add a new file, and our file, we will call this our hsl.type. Yes, right. And inside of here, we can just export HSL equals here, and we can just say H is a number, S is a number. Oh, and I need type here. It's like, what are you doing? So type, and then L is a number, right? So there we go. Now we've got our type. So here's, like, typically you shouldn't do like all caps. I'm gonna do, we can call this HSL color. That's a way to go, right? Be more descriptive in our naming. That's going to help. So what we can do here is now we can change this, our HSL color. There we go. Boom. This. No, it's still just calling it a duplicate. We'll get rid of that other code, and then it won't care about this being a duplicate. But now we've got our code in place to create colors. So here, instead of doing this, we can just say, hey, our background or our next background colors are going to be our green base. That's going to take care of that color. other thing we could do is let's go put this by the type. So here we can also export our helper. And then we can import our helper here. There we go. Oh, it's not running prettier yet. So now our red base can go down here. That's going to take out our colors that aren't accessible. And then finally our blue base. Our blues were all okay on accessibility, but we can do better. There we go. There's our blue base. Now, logObservable has more accessible colors. And then, we've got this random color where we can pick a random color. We're using MathFloor, MathRandom. This probably has issues with distribution, but it doesn't matter. And the reason it doesn't matter is we aren't using this for like cryptography or anything like that, right? We're using it specifically to just pick a color, right? And so we've got an array of colors. This picks the color, and then down here, we want to remove this, that, and that. There we go. So now we've made the changes. So now let's create some code that shows how to use our observable. And then we can take some screenshots and add them to what we're doing. Rosh Gaming asked, what programming language are you using? It's TypeScript. I'm using TypeScript. I want to ask you something. What is your wish in life? Wish to be in life? My wish to be in life is helpful. Honestly, that's my biggest, and I just want to make sure that the people that I interact with, I either somehow make them their lives better in some way, or at least I don't make their lives worse, right? That's my wish to be in life. Am I successful at that? Sometimes. Right? Most of what else I've accomplished in life, I'm happy with, for the most part. But that's a tough question to ask or answer, right? But yeah, I'm using TypeScript, and we're building this. This isn't just an RxJS operator. Angular is on the front end. Really, this is an operator that years ago I encountered this article by Basil. I'm always gonna. I should just pick a pronunciation and then have him correct me at some point in time. But there's this article, and let me put this in the chat for everyone. You can go take a look at it. So this goes over how to create your own RxJS operators, and then down here creates this logging, right? Beautiful logs. And you can see that we get kind of this. Over the years, like originally I was just using this function, and it worked really well. But over the years, I've found some reasons to extend it. And so I found myself constantly having to copy this code. And if you've watched my streams, I copy this in anytime we use RxJS operators. This is really, really useful. So, let's go use it now. Now that we've got it set up. We've got this. Go to our app component. We can take this code out. We don't need it. And then we're going to take out all of this stuff up here. And this is Angular. It doesn't like the stuff we're writing isn't Angular specific, but Angular is the language I know. So that's the one we're using, right? It's Angular is the one that I use in my day-to-day life, at work and stuff. So here we go. We've got our Angular component, right? And in our template, we're just going to add, you just say, yeah, h1 logObservable. And here we can just say, hey, in a paragraph, check out the browser console for to see things or to see output, right? And so now let's do some interesting things. The first thing we'll do is we'll just do like do read only. And this will be like our basic observable. So we'll do a protected read only. That was not what I wanted. Protected read only. And here, this will be our base observable. Or simple case, right? And what we can do is we can just do, we'll have, you know what, I don't care. What we can do is we can do from, and here, we'll import this, and that's going to give us an RxJS operator that's going to complete. And then we can do from, we can do array.from, and this is a way we can do ranges, right? We can say, hey, we've got an array like that has a length of 10. And all we want to do is just after we create that, we can say, hey, let's just return our index, right? There we go. Now we've got a simple array that will return an index. So what we can do is we can do, here we can do like an H4, and this is our simple case. And then under our H4, we can just do our pre, and we need to subscribe to this array, right, to get it to work. We're going to use the async pipe here. So we'll just go and say simple case, and we'll go to our async pipe, right? We'll let Angular handle all of the subscribe and unsubscribes for us. There we go. We've got our async pipe, and boom. If we go take a look at our logObservable compile, did I do something wrong? Compiled. Oh. You can't see it. That's hilarious. Let's fix that. So here, our app root selector, we added that stuff to the body tag. Go look at the CSS file. Turn on the blame. So here, my breadcrumbs at the top. In the CSS, max width, we're going to go with height of 100 to 100 view height here. We no longer need the display grid. That's fine. We're also going to set our color, the SL. So let's go with like a 60, 100%, and like an 80% lightness. And then the other thing we can do is if we go to our index.html, added this style here. We can take this off. And now if we go look, got a dark back. Pre-tag. We'll have to take a look at that. Anyway, we can come back to our app component and in our CSS, put that same color back on it. Did I close the CSS? Right there. Here, we can paste that in. So it's a pretty dark blue that we're using. Got a yellow on a blue. Need this stuff anymore. All this div stuff can go away. However, take a look, see what we get. Now if we come back to our, what's going on here? That is horrible. Our app root should be 100 view height. One thing we can do is we can go into our styles inside of here we can just say, hey, our body is 100, or we can even do 100 view height. That's fine. And this is our height, 100 view height. Yeah, margin 0, that works. Don't want display flex. For now, this should work. So now if we go back and we take a look, it doesn't have body. Oops. Our body is 100%. AppRoot is not. Oh, the reason we don't have here is the play block. There we go. There we go. And a margin of auto. You know what? Let's put the color on the or the background on the body. And actually, we'll move both of these onto the body, just so that everything gets them. There we go. We've now got 100 view height. And in our component.css, this doesn't make sense unless we've got a display of block. There we go. So now if we go take a look, of course I launch Chrome in my other window because that's what I do on stream every once in a while. Yeah. Mark has had Mark's had some amazing videos. So here's our simple case, but what I'm not seeing here, on spec. So here's our pre, but we're not getting anything here. One thing we could do also, just to make things a little bit nicer, is in our styles, need that because we know we can add to this. Let's just style our pre tags also. So that's all good. The other thing is I want to set the background on our pre be slightly lighter. And really this should be degrees, and it should be a percentage. Right, and let's go to like 15% on this. Just see what we get. So if we go back to our stuff, aren't getting anything in our simple case. Let's go figure out why. It doesn't like. So in our app component, we are doing simple case. And don't know what's going on here. But what we can do is say, hey, pipe. And now we can add our logObservable. And here we can just say simple case and see what's happening when it goes to subscribe. So this is the nice thing about the logObservable is now we can go and take a look at our console. We're getting a next of undefined, and then we're getting a complete. So something is wrong in the way I'm creating this. Take a look at our array.from length. Oh, you know what it is? It's underscore I. think that's what. Take a look. Yeah, there we go. Right. So we're just logging a simple 9. And background very blue. So this is the output, right? We're just getting a 9. And that's fine, right? That's what we expected. We created an array with 0 through 9 elements in it. But over here, we can see all of the different things coming out. And we can also see, hey, this one completed, right? Which is helpful. Our pre-tag, it's not super useful, right? The code shows us how to use it. But yeah, and this is why I modified it. Like the one that he showed was nice, right? But let's do something else, right? So let's add another thing, right? Protected, read only, and here we'll just do our map case, right? And we don't even have to do the from anymore. We can just say, hey, we're going to take this dot simple case. We're going to pipe it. And we're already logging the simple case up above, so we don't have to do it again. So now we can just say, hey, let's pipe this through a map operator. Right? And here we'll take our value, and we will do value. Can I do this? That I always forget. Is that exponentiation in? Well, I guess we'll find out, right? And then here we can go logObservable, and we can just say, hey, after map, right? Or we could leave it as map case, right? And then we need to subscribe to it up above. So we'll go ahead and add in our map case. Our map case. Here, this is also our map case. And so now we'll see some different stuff in the logs, right? So notice here are the logs and refresh. We've got quite a few things being logged, right? So the first thing we've got is the simple case. And in case there are color collisions, the other thing I did is in the logging, I've added kind of a tracking value, right? And we can go take a look at that in the observer here. The tracking value is the message key. And this message key is set up, before we return the observer. And the message key is just a random number between 0 and 10,000, and then we turn it into a 36 a radix string, right? Oh, and we add the date to it. So if we wanted to avoid collisions, well, we are unlikely to get collisions because this is in milliseconds, right? But if we have something happen in the same millisecond, potentially we could get a collision, but with 10,000 things to choose from and the current date in milliseconds, it's highly unlikely. And so that we use this radix of 36, and what that winds up doing is that's all the letters A through Z, and then the numbers 0 through 9. When you turn that into a string using the 36 radix. So we create this key, and we add that to everything that we use. So that's created at the time that the observable is created. And the cool thing about that is, all of these have the same key, including the complete case, right? And then these have the same key as above because this operator was created at the same time. So we can see this one, but our next log observable gets, it gets its own key, and they're going to be fairly similar in the beginning because of the date time stuff. But at the end, they start to diverge. And so, we log all this stuff. So, we get, yeah, 0 to the 0 power is 1, 1 to the 1 power is 1, right? We get all of our squares. These are wrong. Like, that's 4. That's, oh, nope, they're not wrong. These aren't squares. This is me raising 3 to the 3rd power and 4 to the 4th power, 5 to the 5th. I shouldn't do this because if we go much bigger, we're going to overflow, right? So let's change our map function here. So instead of the number to its own value, we can go, we'll cube it, right? We'll cube our numbers. So this is the, this is the, this is the basic case, right? Where here we can track different things, and we'll look at something here in the near future. I want to work on the README file. But the other nice thing, right, is that we get different colors. So this blue tells us that we can tell it, oh, this one completed. And then using this, we can say, oh, yeah, the A60 completed, right? And then the C46 completed. So we can see the order that our observables complete in also, which is really, 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 really helpful. But, what if we get an error? So let's do protected, read only. And here we'll do, we'll call this our simple error case. Okay. And here we can just do this dot, you know what, we'll do map case here. Dot pipe. And so now we want to throw an error. So we're going to use tap because we want to create a side effect. And we'll just use our value. We'll say, hey, and we'll say if our value greater than or equal to 10,000. Do we hit 10,000? 9 to the 9 cubed is not 10,000. We'll say if it's greater than like 300, then we will throw a new error. Yeah, value is too high. That's fine, right? There we go. Now we've added an error case in. So now we need to use that, right? And here's our error case. It's our simple error case, right? Error case. So boom. So now we can go take a look at what our logs look like. Didn't catch our error. So we'll return throw error. Here, throw error requires a new throw error requires a factory. Create the error. What doesn't it like? Oh, we aren't returning anything. So instead of map, and then we can just return value. Oh, it should have been caught. Go back. The error value is too high. So, oh. The reason it wasn't caught is I didn't add the logging. That will catch it. It helps if you use your operator. And it's not that it's catching it. So here we can see that, right, we go through all the other cases and then we go through our next case, right? And so we go through a lot of them and then boom, in the map case, we hit 343 and then the error catches it. And it says, oh, we threw an error. And the error's value is too high and we can log stuff, right? And then the nice thing is that it's going to show us the entire error that we caught and things like that. So it becomes really helpful as we're trying to debug things, right? So let's take a look at where I really like to use it. Like this is helpful. But let's take a look and let's take a look at a memory leak, right? In our memory leak case, we're going to use an interval. It's protected read-only memory. Oh, I'm outside of the. I am. Need to get some water here. So now we've got an observable that's going to go forever. And here we can say, hey, we just want to take the first 5, right? And so what we can do is we can just say log observable. Here we can say memory leak case. And our take 5 should end it. But what we're going to do is we're going to switch map. And let's switch map to another interval. of 2000. Okay. Need a function. Say our count is here. Boom, we've got that. And I'm going to pipe this map. I'm going to say count. We're going to return a string that is count 1, first count. Call this our inner count. Okay. So we've got our outer count and our inner count, right? Go. And got something broken. Probably don't have closing. Boom. So let's watch this, right? So we're gonna go watch. Oh, I haven't wired it up. So here we go H4 memory leak case. Memory leak. Um, so notice that we're still going. Even though our outer count isn't incrementing, our inner count is still going. And so we've got a memory leak going on here, right? And this is where this really comes into play. Like I know where the memory leak is because I intentionally wrote the memory leak, right? But let's just add do a log observable here, and we can say memory leak case after switch map, right? This is how I would start tracking this down, right? Because the very first thing I would do is I would add this observable after this, right? And so immediately we can see, oh, wait, what's going on here, right? Our switch map's still going. And so now we know, okay, something is wrong. We haven't stopped. Our switch map is still going. What's going on? So then we can go and we can be like, okay, go inside of the switch map, right? And inside of this interval type, and we can just say, hey, log observable, that we're inside, we're in the inner observable. And now we're getting, right, we got the first 4, but wait, oh, look, the inner case is still incrementing, right? And that's what's causing the outer case to continue incrementing. So we aren't killing this inner case, right? And so, the fix is, right, that we move the take here. And now, when we watch, we're going to get the first 4. You guys know why this is broken? Um, this one is broken because um, log observable, the switch map is canceling the outer observable and it's hitting the inner observable, right? Um, and because this never returns anything, this pipe is too slow. If we were to flip these around, and maybe we can go faster to just not wait so much. Like if we make this a 200 millisecond observable, boom, it stops, right? So our stuff helped because as soon as we add this zero, um, and this is the power of using this log observable operator, right? Is that the inner observable never emits. And because it never emits, it never moves past the switch map before the outer observable emits again, cancels the inner observable, and creates a new observable, right? And so our switch map never emits. And because it never emits, then we're in this weird state where we don't get anything. And one thing we could do to and so we know that for whatever reason, this one's not emitting. I happen to know that that's the case, right? But by adding these log observables in places, we know that, hey, we hit this one, but we're not hitting the inner observable ever. So the inner observable is never emitting, and we're never hitting the case after the switch, right? Um, and the other thing we could do is we could move this up above the take, right? Like you should usually have your take operators be the last thing in the string. Certain things like log observable are usually safe, but anything that creates a new observable is dangerous to have after any of your take operators. So take until destroyed, take until, take the take operator, the first or take one or any of those are all dangerous. Because adding a new observable after them is dangerous because you could be leaking subscriptions, like I was able to prove. But if we take a look, we know that even after me moving that, the only message we're getting is the memory leak. And what we should do is put this all back. It's a good demonstration of the issue. And so then we can also just go here and we can go protected, read only. We can just call this our fixed memory, right? And really, we can just copy all of this. And there we go. So now we've got that. And if we move, we can say this one can be no memory leak, no complete, right? And so here, this is the no memory leak, no complete. We can just say no memory leak, no complete, inner case. Here, no memory leak, case after snap. And so we need to go add this to the thing also so that, get, so boom, there's that. And we might work on these a little bit more in the future, but for right now, um, they're just demonstrations, right? So here, the no memory leak, and they aren't actually adding anything to the memory leak case is, but the no memory, no complete. Did I not put in? Oh, it is. Um, we can see that these are, not working. One thing we could do here, let's just add button, button, click, pulls, stop. What? Right now, doesn't matter. Right, we can see that we've got all sorts of stuff still going. Um, and we've leaked observables, right? So let's add in our fixed case. Um, you know what? We could do something. Because let's first create our fixed case. Say fixed memory leak case. Right, and then here this becomes fixed. There's our fixed case. Here, to fix this, we can just make this like 500 milliseconds, right? And so the next thing we can do to see how these work is let's just add buttons here that allow us to run it. So we'll just do button type equals button, and just do start, right? So you guys ever used Emmet? So you can do like button. Here we can do button, right? And oops, that's button. Here we just do button. I think we have to do type. I think we can just do button. And then the next thing we can do is we can say, hey, and you can see down here that the Emmet stuff is being built as we type it out. And then we can do start, right? And then when I hit tab, ooh, there we go. Now we've got a start button there and a start button there. Go ahead and fix this. So this is the fixed memory leak case. Fixed memory leak case. Got our button. Our fix. Go. But our start buttons don't do anything. So what we want to do is create a couple of subjects. So I gotta click here. So on this one, we'll say, hey, click equals start. Put on the wrong thing. It. So this is start mem leak. And this will allow us to show some other interesting things, right? So here, what we can do is we can add a read only start mem leak equals new subject, right? And if you're using strict typing in TypeScript, subject, so here we can do is we can say this dot start mem leak pipe, and then we want to pipe to a switch map. Switch map, take all of this. There we go. And so now we just need a read-only handler and do that here, protect it. Down here, we can say protected, read-only, and start mem leak. I don't want that. Start mem leak void, right? And then we can just say, hey, this dot start mem leak dot next. And so that we don't clutter up our logs, we'll just comment this stuff out for now. And so now we've got our mem leak case. And if we go look, our logs aren't doing anything, but as soon as we hit start, we'll see that boom, we've got our logs going, right? And now our memory leak keeps going, right? Because we're actually emitting stuff. The interesting thing is, like, if we hit start again, we should. Oh, it canceled that. But so, you know, this never completed. It got canceled. So we should see, yeah. Now we're getting like, right, we've got two 15s and two 16s. If we start it over, and maybe we should go a little bit faster on this now, so that we don't have to wait so much time to see stuff happening, right? But getting two at a time. If we weren't using, well, here's a way to cheat. Here's a way to cheat to show a common memory leak case. So the switch map here on the memory leak case, we're using a switch map, right? If we use a concat map, we'll see just how bad the memory leak is, right? The other thing we can do, let's just refactor this. We'll introduce a constant, this constant. We'll introduce it to global level, and this will be, want to replace all occurrences, and this will be outer will be the outer time milliseconds, right? This one will also introduce a global constant, global level, and this one we will call our inner time seconds. Rename that so that our milliseconds are smaller, right? And then what we can do is we can make this one, we can go 100 and 200, fine. And it wants us to rename this. Oh no, it's just the inferable types. Actually, it probably does want us to rename it. Really? Okay, fine. And so now our fixed one isn't actually fixed. If we drop it to 50 milliseconds, then we will. So let's also grab this, introduce a constant at the global level, and this will be fixed time milliseconds. Boom, and then, whoops, refactor this one and introduce a constant, and again, this will be number to take, right? There we go. Now it's going to fix that and that. Don't know why it forced me to join the other two. This one. Probably because there were so few that it wanted me to join it at that point in time. And now, so now our stuff is faster, which is good because now we can really see the problem. So if I hit start, right, we're leaking things. If I hit start again, we're going too fast. Let's slow it down again. Yeah, the fixed time doesn't matter. We'll fix that later. If we start that, oh, I used the wrong map operator again. It shouldn't be concat map, because concat map is going to wait for that inner observable to complete, and then it's going to do something. What I really wanted to use was merge map. And this is where logging is also helping, right? Because I'm like, wait, it's not behaving the way I want it to behave. And that's the nice thing about using stuff like using logging in your observable is you're like, no, my pipe should be behaving differently. So we go ahead and we start, boom, and then I kick off another one, and we should see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And now we're getting my 4 in here, and now we're getting multiple 4s. If I hit start again, right, we're getting 1, 2, like now it's really becoming ugly because now we've got multiple logs going on, and now we can really see the issue with the leak, right? That we've got so many things going on and leaking here that, which one is the right one, what's going on, why, and we can see the inner count is jumping all over the place based on who emits when and things like that. So we've introduced a significant what do we want to say? A significant issue. The other thing we can do is just to be nice. is let's also add a stop button here. We can go button, type, button. I think we can do click, stop. And then I think that's okay. Out of emit now. Button, type, button. It doesn't, that's annoying. I think Copilot is messing with, because it's trying to complete and then, so click, we'll just do, this will just be stop. Stop will stop everything. Boom. For stop to work, we also need only, and here, this will just be our stop. And that's fine. What we can do is we can just do a take until here. Add that in. Boom. Oh, I need to add the function to stop, right? So protected stop equals this dot stop. And now we can click start. We can get our memory leak going, and we can, we can click start a few times. And now we've got, we've got some obvious memory leaks going on. But if I click stop, boom, it just stops, right? And so now we've created the ability to start and stop our stuff. Let's do the same with our no memory leak case. Comment this. Add in stop button here. Click. It'll be, this is a start. Need to add some stuff in here for our no memory leak, no complete. We need read only, observable, start new. Here we can also do this dot start no complete dot pipe. Inside of here, yep, we'll do our merge map. Closing and boom, and grab our interval. Here and that. Go. Last thing we need is right here on this level. Just need take stop, boom. And so now our no memory leak, no complete should work. Oh, yeah, I don't have a function. Go add our function to do it. Man, so protected, start no complete. There we go. So here, if we start this, we can see that we've got that. And if we start another, technically we do have even a memory leak here because this is never going to complete. And so now we're getting, multiple there. But, since we've got the stop button, it's not as big of a deal. And then the last one is the fixed case. And with the fixed case, we don't need a stop button because it is fixed. Here. Click. Start. Fixed. Good. Down here, we just go at our, yep. We just go this, start fixed. Type. Merge map. Closing paren. And then we move all of this stuff in. That prettier fixes it all up to look nice for us. And so now if we go take a look, I still need to write the function. So thank you to Copilot for writing my function. Now, I can kick a bunch of these off, but it doesn't really matter, right? I can just keep clicking these and we're going to get stuff over here. So now we've demonstrated memory leaks. We've demonstrated how you can track them down. And we added the colors, right? We added more accessible colors. So let's fix some stuff up. First thing we should do is commit a bunch of the stuff here. Better yet, this one. We can say that we made our colors accessible. Boom. And then we've got these. And this is made demo app to show how to use. Got that. And so now we're in a better place. And push this. We're going to merge this to main and stuff. We'll go a little bit longer just to show. Well, we need to work on some stuff, right? We need to work on our MD files. Start with that. So if we go look at Is it just I did mean ng extension. I always spell it wrong. And let's go. So if we look, they've got an external documentation site, which is pretty nice. We're going to go that far, but we should, give information about how to set it up and stuff like that. So let's get some of this stuff in place, right? And I had some people share some information with me. So the biggest, we need a README with examples, and that's what we're going to get done today. Try another platform instead of Medium because it is paid. Didn't use Medium for that. So, there was somebody else who gave an example of what they would recommend the documentation to look like. So, it was really good feedback from people, right? I just threw something up there last time. Let's clean up our README and make it easier for people to use. So the first thing we can do is we can go into our README here, and this is the published README. And add some stuff, right? So the first thing we want to do is installation. And our installation is going to have a couple things, right? So here we can go npm bash on npm install observable. Great. We can and we probably want these to be save dev. Here do pnpm install -dev, and then the last one is yarn. And I don't think yarn has a save dep, does it? If we go here and we go to if we go to like pnpm, yeah, with this, we're gonna need this anyway. Here, install. Oh, it's not save dev, it's just -dev. Or we can just use the capital D. Bad. There we go. And let's make sure. I think with npm we can also do the same on it. I don't want to print this. npm all go here. Whole bunch of stuff here. Configuration. Try run. All links. I save dev. Ground script. Package log package. Include, omit, global style, legacy bundling. I'm missing something here. As there's save dash dev right there. Um, Interesting, but here the save function exact. We'll leave it as just save dash dev. I think you can do the dash also that, and then yarn add. This is the one I'm definitely gonna have to look up because I'll be honest, I don't like yarn, and so I don't know a lot about it. Yarn add. It's just again a dash D. Okay. We want to install this as dev dependencies because this should really only exist as a debugging tool. That's another important thing to say about this package. So, since it's a debugging tool, can even say that up here. A note. Let's see. What this is where if we look up GitHub Markdown sheet, what we want to do is just look at notes. So headers, link images, code and syntax highlighting, footnotes, part of the core markdown, supported by GM, tables, block line HTML, horizontal rules, line breaks. Is there a way to just create? What I want to do is just create a note. Badges, lists, diagram, alerts. There we go. Let's create a tip, right? So to do that, we just use that markdown. So here we can just go boom, tip. We can say that logObservable is a library to help bug observables during development. You could avoid using. Here we go. We've added some useful helps here. And works. Let's add some images here, right? Yeah, use image. But to add an image, we need to take an image. So let's go take a look at logObservable. Take a screenshot of this. We're going to save this. Here. And inside of logObservable, should just add a new folder. Be our image. That and simple case. There we go. Hey, bro, don't you feel when your video some rest? You look so. Oh, thank you. Thank you for calling that out. I should take a little bit of a rest, right? I want to stop streaming in about 15 minutes, but I want to get the simple case up and get this up online. But yeah, thank you for calling that out. I definitely need to get better at taking rest. So yeah, let's get this in place, get the simple case in place, and then we can look at more. Well, I'll get more advanced cases up later. Actually, you know what? I think you're right. I'll go ahead and stop here. Seems like a good place to stop. I can work on this. I can work on this on Thursday, and that'll be fine. Well, you know what? I want to get this done today, but I'm not going to do it on stream. I can go faster when I'm not streaming. So yeah, let's go ahead and end here. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you for being here, man. I really appreciate it. And you will. I'll get this all up. On Thursday, we will pick up again with the analog blog, and we'll look at using a CMS system. We'll probably use something like Contentful or something like that to feed stuff into our blog. But yeah, we will see you. We'll see you on Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Mountain.